So what's up, y'all? It's Sunday morning. It is looks like the sun is shining at least temporarily because our weather is crazy. Anyway, uh today is the day for a new YouTube video. So I wanted to share with you all what the end of the semester is shaping up to be like over here this way. As most of you all know, if you have cut on television or been on social media, you know that a really bad tornado passed through Greensboro on last Sunday and did a lot of damage. So before I even start talking about me and my semester coming to an end and moving back to Durham and all that good stuff, I do want to say that there are a lot of families here that are still in need. So if you want to send donations, especially if I know you personally, I will be home in New Bern this weekend. So whatever I can fit in my car to bring back to donate to families, I will be doing that. So just hit me up on Messenger in my inbox, or if you have my cell phone number, give me a call or send me a text because I will be taking things back with me to donation centers here. If you're not in New Bern or not in Durham or anywhere on my path, and you know that I'm serious about community service, and you want to donate, you can cash at me at $ the Southern Belle, and know that your monetary donation is going to be put to good use to help those people. So, with that being said, I wanted to talk to you about what the end of the semester is looking like for me. So, I said that part of the reason I want to do this YouTube uh, channel is to talk about my journey coming to the end of this PhD program and juggling all the things that I do. So, as of today, we have about 1 week left of class. So, I have two presentations that are due tomorrow, in addition to a paper that's due tomorrow and another one that's due by Thursday. Once those things are turned in, I also have another paper to do for my independent study, which is due probably May 4th. I think it's May 4th. I don't know. So winding up, there's a lot that I need to do on my end and wrap up, but none of that includes the additional work I have to do as a teacher, because you all know I teach at UNCG and Central and A&T. So in the midst of doing my homework and final projects and assignments, I also have to grade for 4 classes that I teach and get their final exams together. And to top it all off, I am trying to simultaneously, or I should say concurrently, pack up my 2-bedroom townhouse because I'm moving to Durham, which is yay exciting. I love Durham. I've actually spent a decade of my life, if I add all the years that I have lived in or moved away and moved back to Durham. So it's exciting to be back to a place that I call one of my second or third homes, and to be closer to some of the people in my support system. So that's exciting. And hopefully will be my permanent home if the cards come out right. So in the next couple of weeks, I will be documenting more about this packing up. My house looks crazy right now, y'all. And anybody that knows me knows that I'm like borderline OCD with things being structured in neat order. So having to try to pack up what I want to keep, don't want to keep, want to donate, what I'm going to try to sell, it's looking real chaotic in my living space right now. So that's also not really productive to how I'm able to function and think about getting my work done. So chaos does not help me stay focused. So it's been a challenge. It really has been a challenge. Luckily, I do have people that call to check on my progress to make sure I'm not just getting up trying to sweep and dust and things like that in the midst of packing, which is stupid and futile until I'm done. But it's slowly coming along. I pulled everything out of the closet in my second bedroom, which, let me tell you, stuff has been in there, living in there for like the past 4 years. It's ridiculous. I also realized that if I ever had a question about if I buy too many shoes, it was absolutely confirmed. I'm not even going to publicly state how many pairs of shoes I have found so far in my possession. And that doesn't include all the shoes thrown in the trunk of my car. So I'm going to have to do something about that in 2018. I don't splurge on a lot of things other than traveling and shoes, but the shoes have gotten out of hand, so I'm going to have to rein that in. Let's see what else. I am wearing one of the gifts I received for donating to season 2 production of Professional Black Girl, courtesy of Queen Yaba. I was so hype when I opened my mailbox and had my little treats in there. So I know season 2 is going to be dope. Shout out to Yaba Blay, Professional Black Girl, creator, founder, and also Pretty Period. So follow her if you're not following her. Super dope. Doing a lot of wonderful things in the community and in academia. She's just super dope, y'all. So I'm hype about that. I'm also excited to share that I have entered into the world of podcasting. So social media, even this doing these YouTube videos is not intuitive for me talking in front of a camera. It's strange to me, but I've also realized it's a necessary skill and mechanism to try to reach the audience you want to reach. So I'm trying to get used to it. It's still very weird to me and strange. So hopefully I'll get better at it and seem less nervous in future entries. But back to my podcast. The podcast is called Trust Black Women, which, if you are familiar with any of my platforms, Trust Black Women is part of my brand, which I created in 2013, really when I started the journey of writing this book that I have been working on for 5 years, which every time I think I'm finished, I want to go back and change something or add more to it. It was sent to a publisher. A publisher loved it, was ready to go forward. But I don't feel like I've said all I want to say. But anyway, that's the origin of Trust Black Women. But it has really evolved into part of my identity and my brand. It's very much based in my lens and perspective, which is rooted in critical race theory, Black feminist theory. So what I say and the opinions I express, the data and research that I talk about, is always going to be grounded in my experiences as a Black woman, first and foremost. So I hope that the podcast doesn't just appeal to, people who look like me, other Black women, but I hope it also gives a different perspective, which I don't think we get to hear about as often, because everyone gets this, I feel like these prescribed like archetypes of Black women either look like this or they look like this. And it goes far beyond the kind of Madonna whore dichotomy, which is, I think, broadly applied to all women. But there's some other things thrown in there like, IG model, video vixen, earthy soul sister, church girl. I mean, all these things, these labels that people have for Black women. And the whole purpose of Trust Black Women is not to just say, F your label, because you can't box me in. Like, we are all diverse and different, and there's no correct way to be a Black woman. But also to say that, listen, when stuff goes awry, It's black women that are usually having to do the fixing and the repairing and the restoring. And at the end of the day, when all of that happens, it's very seldom that people check in on us to see how we're doing, except for other black women, right? That's where the superwoman complex comes from. That's where all this secret depression comes from, because we put our mental health and psychological well-being at the bottom of the totem pole and priority list, because we're always trying to take care of everyone else and save the day. And it's really taught to us that that's our burden to bear and our rite of passage as black women. And I want to say that's not true, and that shouldn't be so. We need the same amount of support as everyone else. Black women need peace when they come home just as much as black men do. We don't experience any less microaggressions, any less racism and discrimination than our brothers. So it's not a competition of who has it worse. It's, a difference in how these things are experienced, but it's still experienced. So appreciate that and learn how to support each other and not internalize black women's power and, independence as an offense to your masculinity. There shouldn't be, I feel like there's this perspective that if black women have a womanist or feminist perspective, then somehow that equates to emasculating black men. And those two things are mutually exclusive. And I think that's something that we are going to have to recondition ourselves to think about. It's no different than if I say, I'm proud of my black identity, my black heritage. That doesn't mean that I'm saying, white people, you suck. So I don't know why it's so difficult for black men to understand that because I'm empowered, or because black women are empowered in certain ways, that it's interpreted as I don't need you, or I am robbing you of your role in the household or in the family or in our culture. So we got to work that out. We got to figure out how to work that out. And I don't have all the answers, but it's just a matter of, acknowledging what I see, not just as, a researcher or a teacher, but just as a woman out here, that's single, out here in the dating scene, out here trying to support my friends, listening to their stories, male and female, and trying to come to terms with why it seems like sometimes we're at odds when we shouldn't be. So anyway, if you have not already, please follow me on my social media. I am going to post a YouTube video on a weekly basis, and it's my plan to do the podcast every 2 weeks. So the introductory episode is on Podbean. It's under Trust Black Women. Follow me at Shakira Kazi on Instagram. My Twitter is Sister Scholar, SISTASCHOLAR. And, as usual, in all things, trust black women. And I hope everyone has a phenomenal week, and I'll holler back at you later.